Well, I think that's a very practical question, um, and quite often in practice we see team having to spend some time to stabilize their applications and their code base, right, before they can do something with it. For example, release to productions. Now, the best recommendation that I have is to to work on your definition of done. So basically incorporate security as well as some performance, some aspect of the non-functional requirement into the definition of done. So every time at the end of the sprint, when you produce some increment of the product, that increments always meet this definition of done. That means they always secure, always meets the criteria that the organization have. And as a result, there's no need to have additional work to kind of hardening the product, and therefore you kind of answer these questions by avoid having to answer the question, right? If that makes sense. Now there are cases where you have to deal with it, and certainly non-functional requirements are valid part of the product backlog. So the team would typically write these things down into and add to the product backlog, have the development team to estimate the work, and therefore obviously it is natural for the team to count this toward their velocity. And bear in mind that velocity is essentially a tool for development team to forecast what they can do in the futures, right? So so obviously estimate, document these non-functional work as part of product backlog, estimate them and count them toward the velocity, are the reasonable thing to do. But you see, Agile make assumptions that we actually build a team around motivated individual. The assumption is we have motivated individuals, and essentially the question is asking about what drive people, right? So the related question is about how to help people to feel engaged and motivated at work. And when you're motivated, typically you are willing to take more responsibility and go the extra mile to get the work done. Now, when we study motivations, we learn a few things. The first thing is about mastery, right? So when you're actually learning new things at work, you develop new skill or broaden your knowledge or deepen your understanding in one area. That gives you motivation, that gives you the sense of achieving something, mastering some domain topics, right? And certainly in organizing the work, the managers, the leader should incorporate that into the work design and work assignments in such a way that allow people to feel that they learn something new and that drive them forward. The second aspect of it is our autonomy. We enjoy work when we have control of the how, control of how we go about and achieving the objective and carry out the task without being directed, and sometimes we refer to it as being micromanaged by someone else. We like that freedom, we like that autonomy. So naturally, Agile team has a lot of autonomy built in, and people working in the Agile environment tend to have a great sense of pleasure because they can choose to decide how to get the job done, right? The development team in a Scrum setup, for example, empowered to decide the how of implementing a new product features, for example. Another element of motivation which worth talking about is the sense of purpose. So if you are working on something that you deeply believe in or you can relate to, you're actually more than willing to go the extra mile, and you don't feel like working, you feel like you are just being yourself, right? A lot of people joining volunteer for work, they're not being paid for that, but just something that they believe in, they're willing to contribute. without asking much in return, in the sense of providing service to others. In Agile environments, the role of a leader and a manager, and in a Scrum setup, the role of a product owner, which I would say is a leader, a product leader, is to provide this sense of purpose to the people working with him. And the way it is being done is by providing a compelling product visions, and help the people working on the project understand the need, the pain of the customer, and help them to understand that they are actually helping a certain group of people to either amplify the value or mitigate the pains that they have, and give them the sense of purpose that their work matters, their work helps, right? So that will certainly contribute to the motivation. So in summary, we're talking about mastery, autonomy, and the sense of purpose. And I think that's very true, right? If you have that three elements in the workplace, people feel connected, engaged, motivated, and they're happy to go the extra mile to accomplish the shared vision.